So fam is wilding from what I saw. I'm talking about wilding in this video. All from the way I saw it, there's a big ass stripper pole, and he slides from like heaven to hell in the stripper pole. And then I saw like the devil sitting in the chair and fam giving the devil a lap dance. I cut it off at that point. I was like, I'm cool. I don't know if that was the end. I said, man, I'm good. Like, this is the ultimate clout.
It pretty much goes on like that for the rest of the time. It's like I said, I watched it because I knew we were going to talk about it, and I didn't want to just be one of these people that, you know, I didn't even watch it. No, I watched it, you know, and I watched it once, and that's it.
Yeah, I think that's about where I was at. I think it was probably, it might have been close to the end at that point because I think it had been through a verse and all that other shit. But and I'm coming around. There's an article too on Complex that says, here's my question. One, I want to see what y'all think about, you know, just the video overall. We're probably more than likely gonna be on the same page there.
I'm gonna watch
Complex
it on mute.
Released the article. Okay,
Let me watch it on mute in the background here.
Complex released an article saying Lil Nas X outrage is exposing hypocrites. They go on to show older videos in the past, like Madonna's video. They talked about DMX, Flesh of My Flesh, all that type of stuff. So, Jimmer, I'm gonna come to you first, and then we can kind of, we can go around. I'm gonna probably have to double back. Initial thoughts on the I heard that long. Initial thoughts on the video, and what do you think about the concept of Complex saying there are hypocrites because of certain videos that came out in the past?
Well, I'm not a fan of this video. I'm not a fan of this song. You know, if you're going to do a video this provocative, the song better slap super hard. And that doesn't do this. So this isn't going to be another Old Town Road. This doesn't have any hit potential to me, other than where it's going to get as far as controversy. I know a lot of people say, oh, it's number one on this, that, and the third. Yes, it's number one because like, it's number one the way a lot of things or get to be number one or they chart high is because everyone wants to check it out. And if it has no replay value, don't tell me what it did the first week. Tell me what it did the second and third week. You know, so that's where we'll see if this is really something that is actually attaching itself to culture. Do I think there's a little bit of hypocrisy here? Yes, because everyone's look. I'm gonna say this, and this might be a little controversial, but that's what we're here for. You know, because I don't, of course, this isn't something I like to talk about publicly, but, I am a believer. But I hate that Christians are so easy to troll. Like it is easy publicity for someone like Lil Nas X, who has a mediocre at best song, to go ahead and put out a visual like this and then put out the pentagram shoes with the drop of blood in them.
I ain't even mentioned that yet.
And all of a sudden he dominates the pop news cycle for, it's been what, 4 or 5 days now. And like I said, it'd be one thing if the song was incredible, but it's not. And people try to compare it to like when Madonna dropped Like a Prayer back in the day. And I don't know if you guys remember that moment, because like she had this big, like it was like an $8 or $9 million endorsement deal with Pepsi, and they gave her that money before they saw the video. And then they see the video and it has all this religious imagery and the burning crosses and the interracial relationship, which was still something kind of controversial in the late 80s. And they wound up just washing her hands of it, but she got to keep the money. But I got to tell you this, Like a Prayer as a song slapped really hard. If you were into pop music at that time. So, the controversy did not weigh the quality of the song. And I think that's where Lil Nas X is going to come up really, really short. But also going back to the hypocrisy of it. Look, this is also a lot of people who came up on 3 6 Mafia, Bone Thugs and Harmony talking about Ouija, Are You With Me? If you are from that era. And, if you watch South Park, the movie, you saw the devil have a gay sexual relationship with Saddam Hussein. So let's not act like y'all ain't been exposed to this before. A lot of the reason you're so triggered by it now is because Lil Nas X is gay and you're bothered by the homophobia of it. And no, you're not bothered by the homophobia, but you are homophobic because you've heard Lil Wayne say, you know, these hoes love me like Satan, and you weren't even close to being as mad, you know. But because Lil Nas X throws out all this imagery, you know, then it becomes a problem. Now, don't get me wrong, I think the imagery is a problem. I won't be watching the video again. I won't be listening to the song again, and I don't want to see nobody in my circle with them shoes on. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
So what I worry about for this young man really is, I really feel like, okay, for all this controversy and all the attention he's garnering right now, he may have pretty much ended his career, because Old Town Road, and he tries to say it was about all this other stuff. I didn't hear that when I heard Old Town Road. Here I heard basically a country rap song with no cuss words in it, and he has all these young fans, and basically he's thrown all that away. And I'm gonna just keep it real. Black people, we don't fuck with the devil like that. You know, like you start bringing the devil around us like that, and you don't have no real good counter argument to it. We're really not here to listen to what you got to say. But I will be honest, like I do feel like a lot of the scrutiny is because he is gay, but also a lot of the scrutiny is because the song is not good and the visuals do not outweigh the mediocrity of the song.
Here's my thing on this is just from what I've heard in the conversations I've had with some of the homies. To me, I think some of the outrage is displaced because it's easy to go back and say, you know, the Like a Prayer video, and me and a couple of other homies were talking about Luke having like twerk contests and pussy eating contests on the stage back in like '88 and shit like that. The thing that makes this terrible for me is, I was saying, I'm not gonna say I'm Captain Hip Hop. I'll be lying if I say that. In '88, I was 7 years old. I ain't know shit about Luke. Didn't know what was going on with Luke. I wasn't listening to Luke. Also, I didn't have an iPad in my bedroom when I was 7 years old where I could go to YouTube and slip up and see Luke.
You probably didn't even have a TV in your bedroom, much less.
That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is,
it certainly didn't have cable.
Luke's concert may have been taped on VHS. Maybe it might have been somebody might have been recording it. There was no way for me to see that after the show that night, me sitting in my bedroom. I'm saying that to say this kid has to be cognizant to be smarter.
Happening that. Luke had a controversial act happen here in Indianapolis.
I think I remember hearing something about that.
Yeah.
My thing is the difference between the stuff that I saw that happened then versus now is the accessibility. Madonna's video came out. Yeah, you would hear about it if somebody was pissed off in the news, if you catch it on the news, or if it's in a magazine. Now everything is so direct to consumer. Billions and billions of people saw that shit the minute he put it out. That's the difference. To me, that's where the outrage comes from me. It's some clout shit. It's some stupid shit. And I do not agree with the imagery at all. That shit is trash. And I'm not going to support it. But I feel like this shit is mad detrimental. And it has nothing to do with any of the rest of the stuff that you was talking about, Jay Moore, to me. It's just the fact that he's doing this and kids can see that shit right now. We couldn't see it like that when we were kids. I feel like it has the potential to be very detrimental. But
the thing is, kids can also see NLE Chopper. They can also see, Megan Thee Stallion. Let's not, they have access to everything. But if you're specifically mad about this, let's make it okay. No, I do. I don't feel him doing all the imagery with the devil and him giving the devil a lap dance. But you know what? I thought about this, and maybe this is me, thinking way too far. It's like, okay, for people who do consider themselves religious, if they think Lil Nas X is going to hell because he's gay, okay, there's a video of him in hell giving the devil a lap dance. Technically, that's what y'all think of him anyway. So is he really doing anything that's too far off of what you think of him already? Like, maybe that's me playing, for lack of a better term,
I know what you're going to
devil's advocate, but you know what I'm saying? Like, there we go. Like, if you already think Lil Nas X is going to hell just because he's gay, why should he try to keep making songs for your kids?
To me, there's levels to things, though. Like, y'all you can't look me in my face and tell me there's an NLE Chopper video that's as bad as that, unless it's just subjective, and that's your opinion. To me,
if you,
I've never seen nothing like that. I've never seen that like that.
If they point
this is where
guns at
everybody messes up. Let me stop you right there.
Okay, go ahead.
Because
The reason I say is because y'all said NLE Chopper. Like, I want to know what the comparison is. Where are the blood shoes for NLE Chopper? That's what I'm saying.
The problem,
Separation of church and state.
With all of that. And this is something that everybody does, and I don't understand why. You can't make one sin outweigh the other. That's not how it was written. And as a Christian, you should know that. If you actually read your Bible, every sin is cast in the same light. Every single one of them. People pick and choose which sin to put on a higher plateau when you don't have the power to do that. With this Lil Nas X thing, I'm cool on the video. You know what I'm saying? That's just not my cup of tea. I'm all the way cool on it. I remember more a visual than the song. Like Jay Moore said, the song does not stick with you at all. I don't even remember what the song sounds like. The visuals was just, it was not cool in my personal opinion. That's just not something I'm with. It has nothing to do with like being some super Christian or a Bible thumper or nothing like that. It's just extra weird to me. Everything, this is the thing, everybody considers everything as different art. I don't consider everything art like that. I mean, he's doing it pretty much to get attention. That's what his whole point has been since he got put on the plateau from Old Town Road. And what he has done is he ousted his core fan base by saying he don't care about kids much. He was like he trying to take the Dennis Rodman or what's the name route, saying you don't care about the people that pretty much put you on.
Yeah.
And abandon them.
I mean, that's whack in itself. It's just I think what he's doing is he's just grabbing at anything that he can grab at right now. And they're pretty much laying it out for him because he has endorsement deals.
Nike gonna get that bread though. Be clear. Nike gonna get that bread.
The shoe wasn't a Nike shoe though. The thing about it is the shoe is not a Nike shoe.
That's what I'm saying. They're gonna sue him.
They're not suing him. They're suing the company that made the shoes.
They're gonna get some bread out of it.
That's the difference. See, this is the thing too, because the shoe that same company made holy water shoe as well. So they should have sued him then. But what it is there's more eyes on it now because it attached Lil Nas X, who is a pop star right now. Put him on the radar, which is probably the reason why they're being sued. A lot of people were ready to out Nike based off of not knowing facts. And that's what the problem with a lot of this stuff is too now. You get the news immediately and without waiting and letting it actually formulate, you've already decided what happened, and all of a sudden Nike's canceled too because of it, and they didn't have nothing to do with it. Simple as that. But
a lot of people jumped out the window on Nike. I did see that, and
I saw that too.
I'm talking about way out the window. I'm burning my Nike shoes and all that. I was like, hold on.
But they was doing that when Colin Kaepernick, when they was giving Colin Kaepernick.
There's always people who burn things.
Should have been Ben burning them.
Yeah.
Stay long.
It should have already been burnt. I mean, if you have morals and shit, I mean, shit, it's like child labor in China. I mean, let's be real. So, I mean, well,
you're right. But that, but we can't be bothered with that. We gotta worry about the devil, and that's how things must be kind of quiet in America. Because whenever things are going okay, and we, here come the devil. Everybody got to bring up the devil.
Even touch on that part. The whole devil thing. Okay, so there's all kind of uses for devil in the United States, whether it be a sports team, whether it be a TV series, whether it be a movie. I mean, it's all over the damn place. Fortunately, that's the world we live in. I mean, and if you're a reader of the Bible, you know that the earth is pretty much Satan's. You know what I'm saying? If you actually believe in that, this is not where God reigns. God reigns in heaven. Earth is Satan pretty much resides in it, and it's very evident. But at the same time, you can't pick and choose which Satan, devil, Lucifer that you pick to be against. I mean, either you're against them all or you're against none of them. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand why people try to differentiate the two.
Jump in there, Lone. Hold on a
Okay.
second, Jay Moore. Jump in there, Lone.
You guys got your points out? Because I'm going to disagree
Nope.
with like everybody. Well, not really, but
Go get him, Long.
Go,
Oh,
right,
yeah.
you gassed him up. Gassed
hey,
him up.
I love the devil.
Oh my God, Terry, get your people, man.
I ain't got nothing to do with that.
Get your people, man.
Nah, that was just shock value. No, I
somebody gonna clip that.
they can clip it. It's all good.
No, I know.
I don't. I am not upset at this song at all. I don't think anybody should be more upset at this than any other thing that's hit the airwaves. Like the different, like people, if you're gonna get mad at WAP, you should be mad at this one as well. It should be the same. To Jay Moore's point, I think there's a lot of people that are just homophobic. I understand the devil imagery will be offensive to some Christians and some religious people. And I also definitely know that it's something that is used just because they don't want his music on there. What I will say is that I just watched the video, and I don't know if anybody played the game Diablo 2, but it was like a spitting image of when you would go to World 4 in Diablo's realm. Like even the way the shit opened up, it was crazy. No, it was actually kind of cool.
Me of Ghouls. It reminded me of the old game Ghouls and Ghosts on the Sega Genesis. When you got to the very end and fought basically the devil.
Wow. That's
But
throwback.
It reminded me of that one movie with Chris Tucker, who was a singer.
Tucker.
I mean, at one part in the video.
I don't know.
I don't know about that.
But-
Go ahead. My bad.
I'm not sure. Yeah, but the imagery there was like almost a spitting image of Diablo 2 if you've ever played that game. But anyways, I don't know, man. Like, and obviously I'm not religious. I'm not Christian. I'm not any of that. And so I don't have, when I look at it, I just see somebody who is stretching the envelope in a way. I don't think he's doing it any more than anything else we've already seen before a million times.
I've
like,
never seen that like this.
It's just shock value, but even back to like, I don't know, to your argument about kids in the 80s and the access, I don't care, man. Like it's on the parents. Like the argument is always and always should be, it's on the parents. It's on parents to dictate. We can't have the argument of we have more access, in my opinion, and let some art get through and not other art get through. Like it has to be.
Everybody was seeing everything, man. And attest to that
what?
because everything I wasn't supposed to see when I was a kid, I seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I ain't
did
know who
too.
Luke was in '88, dog. I ain't know who Luke was in '88. I mean, and that could have been just me being sheltered or some shit. But
That's what that was.
Scared.
I saw a whole bunch of shit, but I ain't see Luke in '88. I'm sorry, I wasn't listening to Luke in '88. There was no way for me to see.
but you
Luke
saw-
in '88 unless my cousin put me on or something.
Okay. That's
But
the
you
same
saw
thing though.
Terminator, you saw RoboCop. You saw
You
all
saw
that
other
wild-
shit. You know,
Yeah.
you saw movies that depicted the devil. You saw movies that did the same. Spawn. You saw others like
You saw Thriller.
it's
You saw Thriller, didn't you?
You were scared of Thriller. I wasn't
But
scared.
that-
Sure was. I ain't gonna front.
but that's the point. It's on. It has to be. This argument has to be on the parents. It can't be on the creators. It can't be on them because then unless you're wanting to jump down the wormhole of censorship and certain stuff just isn't okay. And then I was joking earlier when I said separation of church and state, but that's kind of how I feel. To me, I just look at this as
I
just
caught it.
this is just art to me. Like it doesn't offend me at all. And certain things are going to offend people that are more religious than I am. So I just look at it and be like, I see what he's trying to do. If you don't like it, don't watch it. If you don't want your kids watching it, then
I'm
figure
not.
out how
Everything-
then
everything
raise them
art
better
to
or some shit. Damn it.
Shit is shock value type.
That's that privilege base. Go ahead.
I'm just saying everything. I can't qualify everything as art all the time. You know what I'm saying?
I get that.
I mean, it's creative. I understand what he's trying to do. And I'm not saying I like the song. I mean, it's not something I'm gonna bump in my ride or
I'm cool.
while I'm DJing or no shit like that. But I mean, the video is pretty much is what's propelling the song itself.
For sure.
And every video or single that he's had after Old Town Road, he's pretty much trying to catch that same flame that he caught on that first song. So it's doing whatever he can in order to do that. And I won't even go as far as say as this is going to kill his career at all. Anything is going to give him even more eyes and attention on himself. I mean, back in the day, you had rock and roll people, Ozzy Osbourne, Marilyn Manson. Yeah, people, if you played the music backwards, they saying it say stuff. This shit is not, this is nothing new. It's just has a different set.
Lone, let me ask you to come back to your what you were talking about.
I've got plenty to talk about, but go ahead.
With the access and the parenting, you said, well, you still found a way to see it. For sure. My rebuttal to that is the you still found a way to see it is times 100 now. That's the difference.
I get that, but what is the alternative?
My outrage
what is the alternative?
I'm not talking about him being gay. I'm not talking about none of that.
What's the alternative? What's the alternative?
I don't know what the alternative is. I'm just going
exactly.
Based
there
off
isn't one. That's my point. There's no alternative outside of censoring it. There's no alternative outside of censoring and saying that. Well, I mean, obviously this is on YouTube. You have to be over a certain age to view anything on YouTube. It's literally a guideline. It's like over 13 or something. So if you're accessing YouTube at a younger age, then that means that you got permissions from somebody that is older. So it's written into all. Now, granted, that doesn't mean that people aren't watching it, right?
I follow you. I follow you.
But this whole, you know. I see, Nate, you mentioned in the comments about the creators have to be taking responsibility for stuff that's offensive. I don't believe that 100% because everything is offensive to somebody. And where is the line? And creators are going to continually beat themselves up, and then they're not going to create anything. I think it's okay for people to criticize, and I think it's okay for people to say, hey, this is, you know, I don't like this, right? Mm-hmm, and then if the creator says, okay, yeah, that was my intent, they leave it alone, or they say, no, maybe I didn't mean it that way, then they want to apologize for it, then I think that's part of it. But I don't necessarily, I mean, shoot.
We're always going to.
I can make a PR statement tomorrow because because I said, yeah, I love the devil, you know? Who got who got offended by that? I don't care. Right. Get offended. Like it.
We know your mantra. You don't care.
I mean, I do care.
We got it. I do care. We got it in the emotes, man.
I care when it makes sense. You know what I mean? I care a lot about when it makes sense, and I care about harmful language. But this is one of them things that I don't.
That's the whole reason I brought up the point that you can't pick and choose which devil to like and dislike. It doesn't work that way. It's the same individual. No matter how they depict it. Whether it was drawn in a funny looking manner, whether it was drawn cartoony, or whether it was drawn evil, it's the same exact person.
Well, that's why
energy. So if you're allowing that energy to be around you in any way, shape, or form, it doesn't matter if this particular one offended you because you don't like it shown to you like that. It's all devilish at the end of the day, regardless.
Right.
Well, and that's why I said that's why I brought up NLE Chopper and Megan Thee Stallion, because like, okay, if you're upset at this over here, then have that same ire that you have for this over here. Be just as upset at him pointing guns at the screen as you are the devil, and be at this exploitation of sex. Don't be silent for this, but then raise your voice for this, because it's not like in the law where there's first degree, second degree, third degree sins. You know what I'm saying? Like, because once again, I'm not trying to get religious, but like it's all the same, and my thing is this, like, I always look at it like this, especially when I'm talking about younger rappers. And I've gone through this before because I don't want to be on the 𝗀𝗲𝗄 Tucker type thing to where I'm just coming down on these young men and women. I want to see, okay, where did we as OGs fail them? And because when I look at this, who is on his team and said, yeah, this will be a good way to take your career. You got all this love from this mainstream audience. Okay, now this is what we're going to do. We're going to have you lap dancing on the devil and putting shoes out that got blood in them. Like, where, you know what I'm saying? Like, for your career, what are you thinking where that's really going to take you? Think that's going to take you to the next level? Because it ain't. You know, if you just want to be this subversive character and you want to be controversial, okay. But I tell you what, your music's got to be a lot better than this that you just put out. You know, and I would pull that young man aside as opposed to just letting him put this out here. Like I said, like my whole thing is, you know, like I said, I look at young rappers like my kids, even though like they probably don't care anything about what I have to say. And I'd be like, look, young man, this is not the move. You know what I'm saying? Whether or not you have this aversion to anything religious, whether you feel like Christianity failed you in some way, okay, well, let's talk about that. But let's talk about how you are going to navigate your way through the rest of your life, because right now this ain't it. Because right now I see him on Twitter, because he's a funny follow up until this week to where he's just copping please. And I don't, you know, and I think he really is regretting putting this piece of art out.
I don't think he is. And it's not art to me. I just like to keep saying that.
Yeah, I see you.
Shit is.
It's not my type of art. It's not my type of art either. But you know,
it's thrown around so easy these days.
But it's also subjective too. You know, it's also subjective.
Somebody probably loves it. I don't, but somebody probably loves it.
I mean, 90% of hip hop I hear is not art to me. So,
I mean, we jump in the chat real quick, y'all. Exactly. We jump in the chat real quick just to read a couple comments in the chat. The chat is lit. We've been talking. I want to make sure we catch. Lone read one from Jeezy. Sean O said atheists are offended too. Just saying. I hadn't heard that, but okay. Nate Jeezy says saying you can't put it on the creators. They shouldn't be censored, but they aren't above being accountable for harmful messages.
Right. That's kind of what I said.
Could dig that. David said
what I was getting to.
Too. Yeah. Okay. People like a reason to be outraged. TR. I do believe that sometimes, especially in this era. See, he's getting attention and getting the bag at the end of the day from David. I believe this is 100%. I believe this is 100% clout chase myself.
I think we have to, with Lil Nas X, we have to realize that he's not just an artist. He's not just a hip hop rapper or whatever. Like he just uses hip hop for whatever he does. Like he's big on social media and all that other stuff. Like I think he just cares about popularity, period.
Just hate. There's a chance it might be labeled that though, but I agree with you, Lone. Like that's how he comes off. I could easily see people saying, "Did you see that hip hop video?" You know what I mean?
For sure.
Like,
I mean, I'm just saying from his perspective. Like I feel like I get the vibe from him that he's less about being a hip hop artist and more about just staying in the headlines
and being provocative. Yes.
Yeah, because man, very controversial. And he got the attention he was looking for. I tell you that. Is his career over? Is it a wrap?
No,
I don't see that. I don't know if I can go that far, but I know Nike.
This is the best song he's got in the chamber. Yeah, it's over.
You say it's over? Oh, okay.
If this is his lead single, and this is the best song he's got in the chamber. Yeah, it's over. Yeah.
Maybe in 2000,
he can be able to He can
It don't matter now.
He can transition into something else.
He can put out
eyes on him, and he has people that have his back based off of him doing this too. It doesn't matter how many of us have.
Ice JJ Fish has a career.
I didn't, but
does he though?
If he drops another song, he's going to have hits. He's going to have views.
Bill Brown will be laughing at
people come sing, and you'll MC it.
Look, there's a difference. There's a big difference between us laughing at you and laughing with you, and we laugh at JJ Fish. We're not laughing with him. And that's not if that's the kind of if you don't care whether you have that attention or not, and you feel like I'm still getting booked, cool. But like, there's a lot of people in this right now. This is all of people feel like, oh, I got mad views, I got all these followers. You got to realize a lot of people are laughing at you. They're not laughing with you. And it's not just about laughing. I'm talking about people who do goofy dances. I'm talking about girls who are half naked on Instagram. They think that we're we talked about this a little bit last week. Like, I'm not your fan. Like, I have my man Ryan Davis, comedian. He said, I have a problem. I'm not a fan of yours. I just like looking at female naked ass. Like, don't make more of it than what it is. You know, all attention is not good attention.
Shano made a great point. I mean, Shano's made my rebuttal to that is that laughing at someone is a success these days, and I agree with that. Like, that's Lil Nas X doesn't care. He doesn't care.
He does.
He doesn't care.
That's all it matters.
Realize when you're talking about bags, and if bags are important to you, Lil Nas X has broken all kind of records. His bank account is probably sitting pretty. Positive about that.
Shano hit, that's a bar right there, because in 2021 he's 100% right. That's a bar. Lone, my question to you is real quick, and I know we got to move on. So now, with him being in this position that he's in now, we've talked about his career, what may happen, what may not happen. Can he play the kid role again and go back to them, or is that a wrap? Is that door closed?
What do you mean by the kid door? The kid
going back to making records like Old Town Road and going to elementary schools and performing. Is that door closed?
It's an interesting question, because I didn't know he was doing that before. So
his videos of him performing in front of schools of kids with cowboy hats on, and they sitting in style singing Old Town Road.
You have to realize, like, people like Lil Nas X grew up with the generation, just like Miley Cyrus did, just like you know, those kids are now older, so he's got a hold of them. Plus, he's got all the old people talking to us. We got us talking about him. Like, it doesn't matter.
2 years ago,
right? Well, I guess what I'm saying is it doesn't matter, even if he can't do that anymore. Like, he's on TikTok. He's got the people that follow him on TikTok. You know, they're gonna still follow him.
I'm just talking about strictly on the surface value. Like, not if it matters. I'm talking about, do y'all think that option for him is closed musically?
This is where he's at, though. See, he doesn't need to tour the elementary school circuit anymore. Past that. You know what I'm saying? So he has another song that catches fire like Old Town Road. I mean, it's just gonna do what it do. He don't have to show up at elementary schools,
right?
Cowboy outfit with tassels and shit.
He came out the gate. I was under the assumption that, and he said it as well, that was his target audience. So that's the only reason I asked, because to me, I'm looking at it like, I just don't see that anymore. To your point, it's gonna have to be something different.
And I don't think it initially was his target.
I don't think it
matters. Just that's who took on to it.
Yeah.
I've even heard people say that he's a industry plant, but that's a whole nother conversation.
I ain't gonna even go down that road. Yeah, I ain't even.
He actually responded to somebody that said that. He said, "How when I made the entire video myself." Yeah. He said,
okay.
You know, like, I've seen a lot of his responses to a lot of this stuff. It's actually, I actually respect him a little bit more throughout all this, to be honest. I mean, I know I'm not in the the majority here, but he don't care, man. He just doesn't care. He's got a social media following. He's funny on social media.
Look,
he could just do TikTok and be. He don't need to do anything else.
Look, maybe he made enough money off Old Town Road. You know, he might have it. It was a diamond song to where he can get out here and do whatever goofy, irresponsible, offensive stuff going forward, and it doesn't even matter, because that's the
operative word.
He's not worried about you or your kids, because he's going to be able to live his life lavish going forward. It doesn't matter.
He's not the first one to do that. I will say that.
Way more people that never had a diamond song than there are, and he's in the Diamond Club, so it's sitting nice.
And he can always change. He's always got that out. He's still young, so if he wants to come out with a Christian rap album, people will listen.
I agree with that, man. In 2021, I agree with that.
Come out next year and be just like that one dude and say he ain't gay no more. Been delivered.
Lone is right.
Yeah, I hate that dude.
Lona's 100% right on that, and it'll go too, and it'll sell.
It's just,
so, yeah, I'm with you.
it just doesn't matter. People forget. People move on. You know. I mean,
I think
some of us will care about certain things, but
yeah,
if he was out here saying I'm a hip hop artist and I'm for the culture and I'm then we would have something to talk about. But I mean,
I think that statement that you just said shows how, to your point, how things are. We talk about the word subjective. It's like, I think there's a pocket of people that will be way more pissed off if he said what you just said. I mean, and I think there's a group of people that's pissed off based off, it is what it is on his face. So
look, let's just keep it real. There were people who were critical of Kanye West when he decided to do a gospel album. There were people who were critical of Snoop Dogg when he decided to do a gospel album. How dare you do this? Who are you to do a gospel album? So, there are people who are just professionally upset.
Yeah, me. And I'm not upset at this.
So that it is what it is. Once again, my concern is different. My concern is for this young man, like, really, and how he's going to move forward in his life. Like I said, I look at it as like, Lil Nas X is one of my kids. NLE Chopper is one of my kids. I worry about these young men and how they're going to move. Like, okay, once their moment in the sun is over with, how are you going to move forward and really live your life?
If you've enjoyed this segment of the New Old Heads podcast, make sure to join our live show every Tuesday from 9 to 11 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/newoldheads. And we invite you to join our hip hop community on Discord. Access it by going to newoldheads.com/community for talks on hip hop, sports, music, news, and everything else.